Question. What is a top anime? And why is that? Okay, I get it. You can stop. I've been watching anime for a while now, and it's no surprise that whenever a new anime gets a high rating, it's gotta be of that demographic. In fact, 8 of the top anime series are shonen. You see the insane fights, the viral moments. There's almost like a recipe for an anime to get a high rating, but when word spread that an anime aimed at adult women got a whopping 8.8 with just a few of the ingredients, you know I had to check it out. So, picture this. You're a 15-year-old girl and both your parents just died in a car crash. You now live with your aunt and she makes a request for Justin Bieber. What do? You start ripping that shit, bro. Makio is a 35-year-old writer who lives alone. She's awkward, sensitive, and very much an introvert. She's just like me. Asa is Makio's niece. Makio never really got along with her sister, so I reckon she didn't even know she had a niece. But news broke that Asa's parents had been involved in an accident that took both of their lives, leaving the poor teenage girl orphaned. But Makio will not stand for that shit, so she takes her in, and seeing how blurry she is with her emotions, Makio tells her to start writing a journal. You don't have to write anything you don't want to, just write what you feel in that moment, even if it's not the truth. So it's an anime aimed at girls about 2 girls living together, and I know what you're thinking. But it's nothing like that, I'll say it first. You can't half-ass this anime. You can do coke or get a bunch of STDs from hookers, but you cannot watch this anime while scrolling TikTok. You gotta watch it wholeheartedly. Literally rip your heart out and listen to every word the characters utter, because only then will you learn to dig deep into the deepest parts of your heart and relate to them. It's a slow burn. Asa is devoid of emotion after her parents' passing. No tears, no anger, just nothing. Her 15-year-old self hasn't really processed the emotions yet, so you're just sitting there, slowly watching the grief seep in. And then it hits. Waves of emotions surge through Asa's mind and she finds herself in the middle of a desert. She's alone, pissed and confused that she even blames her mom for going off and dying. Nobody understands me. Never trust the adults. They're all contradicting liars. That's the conclusion Asa came to. Makio, do something. As long as she remain to glimpse upon. Exposition looks nice. What about the drama? A lot of people come into this anime thinking it's something like this, or this. It's about an aunt who's caring for her niece, but it doesn't tie to the themes of childcare. It's not a story about a kid depending on the adult. No, you're getting it wrong. It's about 2 lonely people slowly building a space where they can exist while acknowledging they're both different people. Makio's not her parent, nor does she intend to be. If anything, Makio should be the last person to care for someone. She's a mess. She's often lost in her work that she loses track of time and forgets to eat. I don't think I would entrust a kid to an adult like her. But on the flip side, Makio's more thought out than you think. She's caring and is afraid of how every little thing she says might end up leaving a mark on her niece. This anime shows exactly how adults can be just as sensitive and vulnerable as a kid going through puberty. That's why she hates her sister so much. Not even a tear shed during her funeral, and the spite continues even after her death. She remembers the times where her sister would berate her for being incompetent, worthless, and even shames her for being a writer. So she's always seen her sister through this distorted lens of hate, concluding that she's really just a bitch, but is that really who she was? I think the story is cruel in that aspect because the characters will never get any closure from the dead. Asa doesn't just recover from grief after a few episodes, and you're not even sure whether she ever will. I remember watching an anime exactly like this months ago, and I can't help but ask, will it get better? When will it get better? This anime is aimed at adult women, and a part of me wants to think this has nothing to do with Makio, cause ladies, let's be honest, we're not thirsting over a fictional 35-year-old novelist now, are we? Are we?
Justin Bieber 歌って
Oh, say less.
She started dancing, sexual momentum.
There's a lot of weight in the character's words, and I think what Makio said about journaling really stands out. Write only what you want, even if it's not the truth. At the end of the day, Asa is a teenage girl who's still processing the death of her parents. Writing that down immediately would kill her. So even lies, half-truths, and contradictions are good because they're stepping stones towards self-recognition. What a lot of people don't understand is that the truth is not something you owe immediately, but something you arrive at. And Makio's not Asa's savior. This shit's not a Yuri fairy tale. She doesn't save Asa from grief, but rather gives her a way to survive it, and it's up to her to keep on walking. That's why the story feels so real, because most of the hardships we face in life are on us. Not the counselors, not your best friend, not even your hot aunt. You feel like everyone doesn't understand you and they're all speaking a different language, and I relate to that, I really do. When you're at the darkest, lowest point in your life, it really feels as though nobody understands you and you're the weird one. But in a vast land of loneliness, there are those who build their own oasis around it. They're comfortable and no one else can shame them for that. Asa, are you keeping up? Yep, nah, I tried. I tried to tell her. The story breaks a lot of stigmas. As a kid, you're expected to fit in and not stand out. As an adult, you gotta carry yourself well. And as a man, you gotta admit BTS music slaps, bro, come on. I like how the side characters also add depth to the story. They all have their own little lonely experiences that you might also relate to. If you're genuinely watching this anime wholeheartedly, there is not a single experience that you won't find relatable. There was a scene where Asa was crying and Makio doesn't know why. She's always lived alone and has never really needed to give a fuck about anyone. But things are different now. There's a puppy outside longing for a companion. And so the two of them sat down, went over what bothers them and what they can do for each other moving forward. Was that so hard to do that? The story feels close and personal. It digs deep into the emotions and conversations that we often avoid. You feel uncomfortable watching these scenes, but also relieved that they're in it. Journal with Witch is the official translation, but I don't know. I think the direct translation makes more sense. It's a metaphor. Asa moves into a home that feels alien. Her mom and Makio are sisters, but they're polar opposites. What absurdity is this? You're an adult. You're supposed to know what to do and cook me 5 meals a day. That's what Asa had thought growing up, until Makio showed her that there are exceptions. And the truth is, I've been lying. This anime is not how I portray it to be. There is no over-dramatization, no fancy animation, no fight scenes, no memes, no LARPing. The music is tender and silent in the background. I'm just saying, if I had Kensuke Oshio as my composer, I would alt in the pool every second, you know, like... And yet, despite it not meeting the standards of a top anime, an 8.8 means that a lot of people connected with the story. And I'm sure not everyone will enjoy it and the ratings will drop, but how you feel is yours and yours alone, and no one has the right to shame you for it. So I can make Asa sing to Indian Bieber if I like. I think if there's one lesson I've learned from this anime is that sometimes the words we say or the time we spend with someone might mean more than we think. And I hope, in a good way, mine does to you. So have those uncomfortable talks, address those feelings that you've been putting off, and do those things that you've been wanting to do, because even in the middle of a desert, there might still be an oasis.
匠はさ、自分の人生終わったと思った。時間はかかると思いますが、一つ一つ確かめながら、あの子なりに見つけていくしかないんだと思います。あの子なりの答えを。思わない。終わってない。生きてるから。